Hello. So today we're going to see the new software CATIA, and in the product design it is mostly used in the industries, in automobile industries, aeroplane design, aviation industry, and in the product design, industrial design industry. So CATIA is a older software as compared to the Fusion 360 or the SolidWorks, and initially it was widely used in different sectors for the CNC, for the development of ergonomic analysis, for the development of stress strain analysis, and different other things, right? So here basically, if you can see, there is a small panel on the screen, and there are different tools you can see on the top corner. So today we will see the basic understanding of the software and what are the different tools, and how we can create 2D drawing and give the dimensions. So here, if you can see, there is a start option, and there are different tools in the menu bar. Like in the infrastructure, you can see the product structure, material library, different CATIA variations. If you have a different versions that you can add with the CATIA catalog, photo studio, and this. So these are the things you can use for the rendering. This thing like material library, you can use to create a different material in the CATIA software, and then give them different specifications like their stress strain, their structure, their material properties, and then you can create the different material, because the library of the default library given by the CATIA is very small. So sometimes we require to create a different material, so that you can create with the material library. Okay. Then there is a mechanical design. So most of the times will the as a designer or engineer, you have to work on the mechanical design option, right? So here you can see the part design. So mostly we'll going to use the part design thing. Here you can in the part design option, you can create different parts, solid parts, not the surface. And then there is assembly design, where you can create different assembly of whatever the part you have designed, right? Then there is another option like sketcher, product function tolerances, weld design, mold tool design, structural design, 2D layout from 3D design, drafting we will going to see briefly in the last session. And in drafting is similar that we created in the Fusion 360, like how to give the dimensions to the part you created, right? There are also different like composite grid design, core cavity design, healing assistance, functional model. So these are all like mostly basic things used in the industry for creating the manufacturable and the mass scale product. And all these things are very much required, right? Sheet metal design, sheet metal production, composite design, wireframe and surface design. So this wireframe and surface design is used for to create a different kind of surface, right? If you have some limitation with the part design, then you can go and create something in the surface design. Similarly, if you can have to create some sheet metal work, then you can go and create the sheet metal in the generative sheet metal. And then you can also see the functional tolerances and annotations. If there are different tolerances you need to provide to the manufacturer, then you have to go to that. Okay. So mostly we'll in the CATIA exercise software, we'll mostly going to see the part design and drafting, and somewhat assembly components we are going to see. Okay. And then other tool is like shape. Shape is mostly used to create some free forms or some automotive styling, mostly used if you are creating some design and which have different shape, which is very difficult in making the part design. In part design, mostly we create the solid models or a surface model, but there is some limitations where the form or a part design cannot achieve. So then you have to move to the shape design. So basically in the shape design, there are like a different style: sketch, treasure, imagine and shape, digital shape. There are different options are available, and mostly automotive A class modeling. So it is mostly used in the automotive and transportation, even in the aviation industry. So the sum of, and I think 80% of the tools are similar to the what you can see here in the generative wireframe and surface design, but some of the tools are very much required for the automotive designing or the A class surface design. So most of the industries use automotive A class surface from the shape, and it combined with the alias. Alias is the most software used for the automotive design. So they combine this and they use. And also there is the analysis and simulation where you can create a mesh and generative structural analysis. So you can do stress strain analysis on whatever the product you have created. You can apply different load, force, and see, you can also give the different direction from where the load is coming, and you can see the simulation and the structural analysis of any product, uh, where the load is coming, which part is weak and strong, that you can decide. These are the things like plant layout and all are used to create the layout design, or if there is a workspace design need to be done, or the ergonomic analysis of the workspace design or assembly line design that has to be done. Then you can use the plant layout where you can set up, okay, where are the plant, where is the plant, how the machines will be installed, where is the assembly line will be installed, where is the paint booth will be installed. That are the things you can create. Then this is most core to the manufacturing, like lathe machine, prismatic machine, surface machining, advanced machining. So these are the things which when you create something and you require to do some machining in the manufacturing process, and you have a NC CNC machine, robotic machine, which can perform certain operations like lathe machine and the surface machining or advanced machining. So then here it is also mentioned the NC machine, even the rapid prototype. So it is mostly used to create prototypes, or the for maximum output you can create with the CNC machine. So this it CATIA will help you to create the model and its requirement coding, which you can input into the different CNC machine, and then you can start your CNC machine, so that CNC machine will get the coordinates ki, okay, from where to where you need to machine the tool. Right. Digital mock-up is mostly used when you have to create some kind of animation, or there is a kinematic involved. So if you are creating a gearbox maybe, right, so there is a motor which have certain kind of rotation, RPM, right, and then there are different gear which are going to move along with it. Then you can use different kind of navigators, use kinematics and all. Then there is equipment and system. This is basically used for the electronic circuit design. So these are the things not much required as a designer, but these things are very useful when you are creating the electric circuit board or the PCB design. You can use this type of tools. This is again the process tolerance and annotation we already seen here. Then there is ergonomic design analysis, where you can do lot of analysis, ergonomic analysis with your product. If you created some chair or a table, right, so that with that product, how the human will interact, right, how easy for him to interact with the table or a chair or any product you created, right, how much distance, what should be the anthropometric data you should consider, what should be the fifth and 95th percentile of the human digital model you have to consider. That everything is covered, and how if there is a load a certain on the product, right, for lifting or carrying something or pulling something, how much load will come on the body, neck, etc. So this kind of analysis you can do. You can build human, like as per the Indian anthropometric data or for the American anthropometric data. As per the requirement, you can create different humans, and then you can perform the analysis, ergonomic analysis. Knowledge is just for create how, what are the tools and what are the process is there. You can just read it out. There are a lot of things, and there is a PMIG navigator. It's not much required for the version we are using. Then in here you will see the connect option. If the system is connected with some server, that you can connect the version. Then there is option of file saving, like new, open, save as option, and print documents and edit. You can see the normal options you can see in the normal Word or the PowerPoint. These all options are there. View options, you will see the toolbar, like if you want to open some toolbar extra, some default toolbars will be there. So if you want to create different tool which is missing or something, then you can go to the view and then click here so that you can view that toolbar. Then there are some normal tools like pan, fit, rotary. All these things are also available here at the bottom, so no worries. Here if you can see, there is new component, new product. If you are doing some assembly, or if you created some product and then you have to create some different product too, so that time you can use new component or a new product. Well, into tool you can see there are how you can capture the image. If you're creating something or a video you want to record, whatever you are doing, that you can create, right? And there are different tools, settings which you can configure. Analyzing is the bill of material, and Windows you can see the title and all, right? So this is like the basic things which are there in the software, and now we're going to see how it looks. So now as starting, you can go to the start. Then as like we already discussed, that we're going to work on the part design mostly. So in the mechanical design, you can just go to the part design and click mouse button, left click, then it will load, take some time, and then it will show you the different window and different tools which are specifically for the part design. Okay. So here if you can see in the corner, you will see the product which we are going to create, and then you will see the part which we're going to create. So this is the tree, and if you can just click on the plus minus, then you will see the different things, like the planes are available and the setting of the body part, right? In the bottom you will see the same options which where we discussed in the file and edit and the insert view options, like pan, rotate. From here you can change the multi-view, like if you want to work on the 4-side view, you can click here, and then you can see the top view, bottom view, side view, and isometric view of the same thing. And then this option is the different isometric view. If you want to view, you can click on this, like left side view, back view, side view, and then you can show the different views. Then there is hide and hide option, and this is like material option. If you want to apply some kind of material, that you can apply from here. And then some other options like scaling and all, and the slicing, that you will see once you explore the option. So let's start with the basic thing, like how you can draw and create some sketch and then extrude it. So for this, if you can see, the panel is very simple, and here you need to just identify where you have to go for the sketching. So here, if you can see, the tool is available, so I can just, you can anyway bring anywhere in the screen so that it is easy for you to access, right. And for now, so what you have to do, I just pull it up, hold, and then pull it out. Then you can click here, like this is the sketch, if you can see the near, and I will just going to click with the mouse button, right. And I have to select on the which plane I have to sketch. So now the tools will be changed. I think we already discussed similar thing, saw similar thing in the Fusion 360 also, where we have to select the plane, and so this most of the things are similar as far as now. The tools will be different, right. So I'm just picking it up and pulling it here for the ease of understanding, right. So once you open the sketch, you will see different option uh, which are used for the sketching, right. So now if you can see, we have selected the x y plane and the z is on that side, right. So here you can see one panel, this is mostly used for the sketching purpose, right. So first thing here is the profile drawing. So it is like the line, you can draw anything. I am just dragging the thing and clicking on the mouse, right. So whenever I am dragging and then click, then it will start generating the line, click, 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 right. And it will also show some dimensions, but you cannot directly change the dimensions from here, you need to use the dimension tool. Like in Fusion, you can directly change the dimension, that is the different thing. So this is like that. So the profile is mostly used to create like different shapes. If you want to create anything, like even if you want to create a square, you can create a square out of it. And here you can see it is already guiding you to create some shapes and all, right. If I created the line, it already shows the h means horizontal lines, and the v is like vertical lines, and it is also showing me the angle and the dimension. If I go here, it is showing okay, this is like exact dimension with the top line. And you can, if you want to create the square rectangle and the horizontal line is parallel, so then it is already detecting that line and showing it with the dotted line. So I can click here and then I can go up and close. So now it's v vertical horizontal, it's exactly the vertical horizontal square box. So now I can directly edit it from here, like I can just push pull all the lines from here. You can see what you have to do, you have to just go to the any line and click, hold with the mouse button, and then push pull anywhere, right. And what else you can do, you can just click anywhere, like I am clicking on 2 points, so now it is increasing from this side, right. So this is before, like before giving any kind of dimension, you can push pull from the any side. So then if I have to give some dimensions here, what I will do, there is another tool line here option. So here you can see there is a constrain. So most of the times we do not say here that there are dimensions in CATIA. So there are different terminologies in the different softwares. So here we basically tell that the dimensions is like constraint to each object or a part we are designing. So it is like constraint, so I can click here on the constraint, and then I can see if my arrow is moving here, it is showing blue, so I can click here and just pull it out. Okay, how much is the dimension? So it is showing in the green, right? So now it is 143. Oh, just like that I can click here and then just click here, and it is showing some dimensions, right? So even I can click here. So now once I clicked here, so it is showing in the pink. Why? So because it shows that you are over constraining something, like you already given some dimension to this, and this is exactly the same line in the bottom, so there is no need to create the extra dimension with that. So it's showing it is over constrained, overly dimensioned. So you can just undo it with Control Z, right? So even if I just put another dimension here, it will definitely show in the pink that it is over dimensions. So now if I want to change the dimension, what I have to do, I will just go to the dimension, double click here, and you will see a small window pop up on the corner where the dimension is there, 143. So maybe I will just type 200 here and then say okay. So now the dimension is changed. Same, I can change here, I can just put 50 standard and it is changed. So one different thing here is my box is ready, right? So even if I give some dimensions like 150 and okay, and then again here I will give some dimensions like 50, 50, done. So now I can move this box anywhere. This is like I cannot change anything now, right? I am not able to. Even if I am dragging, it is not changing anything, right? So another important thing in the CATIA is whenever you are creating something, it has to be with the reference of your origin, axis, right? So this is like outside the axis, right? So whenever you are creating any sketch, you need to give some dimensions that from where the sketch is generated and how far it is from the original context, right? So then again you have to, yeah, anyway you can create anything without giving the constraint or giving the coordinates like how it is originated, but it creates problem in certain extent when you go for the manufacturing or the using different tools like symmetry, mirroring, like array tool, right? So it has to be the symmetrical or in the center that you can create, or you just have to constrain it, right? So if the horizontal line is here, I can click, I can use this line and this line, right? So now it is showing one line like 86.1. So once I click here, what happened? All these two lines are like showing in the green, means this is the right thing we have done, and this showing that you have created the exact constraint from the center. Now this part is missing, this showing the white, right? So I can again go back, I can click anywhere. If the horizontal is this, so I can just x and y axis you have to consider all the time for creating the constraint. So better just say here we have used the horizontal to horizontal, and then we will use from vertical vertical, right? How much is this? So now it is showing the green. So green signs that your diagram is correct and it has a good constraints from the center, and the machine or whatever the manufacturing process will be there, it will easily identify okay from where the origin is and how much distance is the far, and which is very important as far as the manufacturing concerned or the product design is concerned in the lateral part and using the different tools, right? So same way we just use line to create this square, but there is another option, like you can create a different kind of squares with this, like this is the normal square, you can create like this and leave. So it is no need to use the line, and you can just use this portion and create. Right. Then again there is a 3 point rectangle. You can create like 1, 2, and then 3. Then it is created. So now these two lines are parallel to each other. It is showing, right? The parallelogram you can create 1, 2. You can see here the two sides are now fixed, and I can move and create the parallelogram here. Right. Then there is a like slot option is also there. You can just take two reference centers and then you can create the slot. And then there is cylindrical edge line holes are there. So here you can just create the circle, and then you can give the some arc, and it will show how the slot can be created here. So these things can be explored, like there is keyhole, pentagon, and then again the center rectangle, which you can just use from the center, and just it will act like okay exactly how much can be created. Okay, so in the shortcuts, if you can see, you have to hold the roller on the mouse so it can pan, right? And once holding it, if you use the left key, it can rotate the screen, right, like this. And if you want to go back, you can just go back with this back arrow button, normal view. So if you missed something and it is in the different view, and now it is difficult to understand where my view is, so you can always click here and go back to the original view. So now let's move further. Again, there are different options for the circle. So you can create circle here, click and extend, that's it, right? And there are different options like 3-point circle, tangent circle, curve, 3-point arc, right? So as per the requirement, what should be the requirement of the drawing, you can use a different kind of circles, right? Then there is line, another line there, right? So this is like a free line which you can create out anywhere. If there is a too complex thing, and if you cannot achieve with the normal circle or a fillet or the curve, you can always come back and use the spline tool. And you have to double click to end the whatever tool you use. If I am double clicking it, and this is like, yeah, right? Then there is ellipse. You can use what we required, always x-axis and the y-axis, right? One axis is this and another axis will be this. Okay. So there are different options like parabola, arc, hyperbola and all. So another here is the line. One option we already use like profile thing, which is continuous, but line is like one end to another, and that's it. You cannot extend it. Like here I am using this thing like continuous thing, click click click, and you can create multiple things here, right? But if I am using line, it will just create one line. Even if I am clicking again, it will not continue, right? So it's creating just single line. Then there is axis, which is mostly used in the CATIA for your references, because already I have told you initially that it is very much important in the CATIA in the drawing phase. You have to create the constraints, right? You have to constrain it with the x and y axis, and if it is difficult to constrain from this, you definitely need some axis, need some guides where you can say okay, this is distance is from this axis and that axis, right? So you need to create some reference lines and the center lines and axis. So this kind of axis you can create with this. So if you can see, I'm just moving it, it is showing that okay, I can create axis. So it is like a dotted line. If it goes vertical or horizontal, it will turn into the blue, right? So this is like one line, and this is like another horizontal line, right? So again, if I wish, I can just create something here, right? And then give some thing from here to here, right? And then it has to be like constrained, something has to be constrained with the original arc. Now you can see it turns into the green. Initially it was not green, right? So everything has to be connected. So if I will just constrain this line with this line. Done. So now you can see this axis I am using is already constrained with the this axis. So this is a little tricky thing, but once enough practice is done, you will understand why it is important, and what is the major application behind this thing. And even if I can just give some dimensions from here, so now you can see I am able to give something like this, and now I can turn this into the fully constrained model, because I created two axes with the using the axis tool, and now it is connected with my origin, right? And it turned into the green. So this option we already seen, like how to create a constraint. The same thing you can just create. You can click anywhere and it will show okay, how much is the distance, right? If this distance is already given, that's why it is showing over constraint. Okay. So always constraint is very important. So let's try to create any drawing which will be used for the practice basis. Okay, so let's create some center point and then create some part here. So now first thing what you have to do, you have to give some dimensions here to here. So now it is showing 1745. I'll just keep it to double click here 1600. Okay, and then this distance should be 1235. So I'll just go to the 1200. So now you can see the square box is converted into the green. That means it is constrained, fully constrained, right? So maybe we'll try some more tools here, right? So let's create one circle at the center at some distance. Now you can see this is not green, so I'll give some dimensions, and now it is showing 490. I will keep it to 500. Done. Okay, now there are different tools like fillet and chamfer is available. So I can, here if you see, there are names will be a little bit different. Like here it is saying not fillet, it's a corner. So maybe I can click on the corner, and what you have to do for the corner thing, you click on one side, you click on another side, and it will show okay how the arc is coming. So I can click somewhere. Now it is showing key whenever I am creating the different thing, it will disturb my constraint, right? Whatever I created with the reference of this. So I can say okay, it's no problem. And then it sometimes it will not go into the green and it will show white. Then again you have to create this with the certain create the constraint with the normal plane. So here 237 is there. I will just go with the 200, right? So similarly, if I want to create a chamfer, right? So what I will do, I will just go click here, and now it is showing you okay how you can create the chamfer line. So I can click here again, same thing. It is showing somewhere, and then you can click here and then change how much it should be, like 200 again. We'll put right. So then there is another tool is like a trim command, right? If you can click here on the trim command, you will see some multiple options like a trim, it's a break, and a quick trim, it's like eraser, right? So mostly we'll use the eraser. So how it is going to use if you're creating some complex thing, right? And then maybe let's create something first. Maybe I'll just create one line from here, move this up here to here, and one more line from here to here, right? So I have two line, and now I have to, this is in the white definitely. So what I have to do, I have to give some dimensions. So first I will give this to this, how much distance I want. Maybe I want 300, like this, almost 9296. So I'll put 300. That is done. So now still it is not turned into the green. So what's the issue is it is not constrained with this one. So I need to give some reference from here to here. Now you can see it is converted. Even now it is advantageous ki okay, this is 300, so this half, if I want to create in the center, it should be 150. Done, right? So now it is in the center. So now you can see there are different options. The line is extended outside, and some of the things I don't really want. So what should I do? Then you can go to the quick trim option, right? I'll click on the quick trim option, and if I go here, I can see I can click here and click here. Again I have to click here, and if you want to continuously click, you can double click on the, and then you will see it is in the orange, and then you can click and remove the things, and then again click on here, so that you can use the different tools, right? So now I want to create some other stuff here. So maybe again I will put some circle, maybe some hole here, maybe the part, right? So then again it is not showing some drawing. I will just give some dimensions, again 200, right? And then maybe this is like a joint thing or some angular joint to the some machine. So it should be the pipe, right? So let's create some, again, depth here, give some dimensions. It is like 396, so maybe 400 will keep green, right? So here maybe some nut bolt will be arranged, so why not from here also? So we'll give 200. Fillet is here, so just we'll create another fillet, that is 200. Done. And then again we'll create some circle. What is the dia here? 200. So another one option is there, it is hidden, and which is more importantly constraint defined dialog box, right? So what is this? This is like when you are creating something, like I have created this circle, right? And I want to create another circle, or maybe the reference to that circle, and something is like I haven't seen this like point, I don't know the center point, and I just created something like this, right? Maybe mismatch or any problem. right? So now if I want to like use, I can click this one first, hold control button, click on this, both will be selected, right? And now I can see this constraint define dialog box is on. Initially it was not, right? If I click again, it is off, right? So if I click it here, it is on. Then I need to create a constraint defining with regarding to some other component, right? So I can hold the control button and select this, right? And then I'll go to here. So then it is creating the one box will open, right? What are the options are there with relationship between these two circle, right? Fix option is there means if I click on the fix, this will become the fixed thing, it will not move. Coincidence, if I click on the coincident, it will coincident with the same circle which was I selected. Concentricity, it will create, let's undo this first, then again concentricity, it will show key, okay, it will go to the automatic center of this thing which we want to create. If there is some line and which is not tangent, you can use the tangent command and then you can create it, right? So this tool is very useful when you are creating something like symmetrical, parallel, horizontal line and which is not there, right? Something angular, or it is mostly the concentricity is very useful when you create a very complex part, because in the CATIA you will not able to find the centers afterwards when the part become very complex and you created the solid model and then you are thinking about where is the center of the circle and you created another circle, so it becomes a little bit of complex. So that time the concentricity and the constraint definition is very much be helpful, so that you can explore, right? So again it is not showing something green, so let's constrain this. Again you will see here some options are on, like mirror option, like if I have to create some mirror, right? If I created the hole over here, right, giving some dimensions, so it is not in the green means some constraints are missing. This is like over constraint, so I can click here and give some dimensions, like okay, this distance is 500 for me, okay. So it is, this is the most critical thing in the CATIA, that you have to give some dimension to each and every component you are creating and each and every part, right? Then and then only it will become a defined part for the manufacturing or the product development, right? So it is here from the 500, right? And then if I want to mirror it, what I will do, I do not have to create any plane or the section, because this is here everything in the CATIA is playing around the center and the center plane, like constraint you have to put along the axis and the all the part references and the dimension you need to put along the axis. So if I have to mirror this, I'll just go to the mirror option, click on this circle and then on the axis. So now it is mirrored here, right? Then there is a symmetry options, means if I'll click here, go to the symmetry, click here and click here. So now it is shifted here to here, right, with the same dimensions, okay. So if I go to the, and then there is option like translate. If I have to translate something from here to here, if I am going to translate this one along this side, right, so you can see I can able to translate this along this, and now it is here, right? What else is there? Now the rotate is there, so if you want to rotate something, scale is there if you want to scale any product or a part and any diagram which is there. And again the offset option, which is also the very important here, like you can create different options, like here I want to create offset circle, right? So it will automatically, if you can zoom in, it will show ki how much distance it is from each other, and here you can just put some distance and just click OK, and now it is showing the exact thing, right? So offset is very much useful to create lot of things like very easily. Scale is mostly not in use because, as I already said, it is all about the dimensions and constraint in the CATIA. So the scaling up, scaling down is like most of times we use when we require to scale it up, but still it is not that much necessary. Try to focus on the constraint and the dimensions, right? This is another tool it is a project 3D element. Right now we are just using the 2D sketches, so there is no 3D element, right? This tool is used when you already have some 3D element in the background, and maybe there is a cylinder, and then inside you have to create some kind of sketch, and you need some reference from that cylinder. So that time you can use the project 3D element. So it will just detect key, okay, cylinder side line and the top line. It will identify and create a line, and then you can create the reference we can explore in the when we move to the solid modeling, right? So again, let's complete this part. So maybe one nut bolt will be here, one chamfer is here. Let's mirror this again, go back to the mirror option, click here, axis. Now it is mirrored, right? Maybe one random slot is here. Always see key if it is showing blue, it try to attach to the different options or the references it will try to take. Like here, if I'm just moving, it is try to tangent all these things, but you need to understand okay, where I should create this thing, right? And then I will go for the trim option, and here I need to give again the dimensions. What should be the dimensions? 170, and this one is 1200, right? And that it's still not green, not constrained, not fully referenced with the surface. So I can just give some dimensions with respect to this. Like this is like showing over constraint, so I just use this one. So now it is showing a good reference, vertical to vertical, and this one is showing 100. So again here we can create a slot. Again it is not green, so what we have to do, references, this is showing over constraint, so maybe with reference to something we need to put some dimension. So now it is fully constrained. This is like a very basic thing in the CATIA, and you need to practice each and every time, like what should be how the sketch should be created in the CATIA and what should be the constraint, because here you need to refer everything with the dimensions, and everything has to be referred as per the axial coordinate from where it is generated, right? From the center. Okay. So because once we start solid modeling, you will understand okay, it is very difficult to get references dimension from each thing. If I just extrude it and I don't know the dimension of this and this or the reference with this, it will be very difficult to create the different part, right? That's why when you create a sketch, always give some references here. right? It is little difficult in the early stages, but once you understand the usability of constraint and why it is very important, you will learn. So this is like the first assignment you need to create. You need to apply all the tools here of the sketching rendering sketch thing, and use the dimensions and try to constrain everything. Do not over constrain anything, because it will see, okay, if it is in the pink, you will going to understand ki, okay, this is over constrained. So all the sketch, everything is has to be in constraint mode, right? So this is like the basic first exercise. You need to create a model. This one you can take the screenshot and then use the same thing, or you can create the same thing and use your dimensions and try to constrain in the reference of the center axis. Okay, so if I want to go to the solid modeling now, if you can see here, how many tools I have used is everything is in the geometry here, like lines I have used, point, like circles, lines, point, circle, everything is recorded here, all the tools whatever I used, right? So you can just off the tree from here, right? Even the constraints you can see, symmetry, non-symmetry, everything it will show. So I have to go to the solid modeling thing. So in the next class we will going to see the solid modeling, how you can do some modeling stuffs. So for that, now if you created the sketch and your sketch is ready for first assignment, this one you need to submit right? And once the sketch is ready, what you have to do, you can just go here, exit workbench. This is like from sketch we came here, right? The small option was there for the sketch, right? And now we have to go back, like exit the workbench. Now you will see we are in a 3D space now, right? So always remember here, I will just give 2-3 tips for the solid modeling also, so that you can practice. So whatever the sketch is created, it has to be a complete, close, and a single sketch for particular extrude. Like if I have to create the extrude, it will try to select full sketch, and it will say the selected sketch contain the several open profiles and subgeometry used in the constraint. You must specify the construction of the geometry to solve the programmability. So this thing we are just using for the practice, right? It is like a view. It will not going to convert into the solid until and unless it is the single entity, right? So I'll just give you some example, right? So let's create a new part. If I want to create something new, you can go to the file, create new. You will see a small window here, right? And you can just scroll it down, scroll it down, scroll it down. You will see the part, because we are using the part designing, and you can say okay. It is showing first we are using the part 1, now it is going to create a part 2. So then you will open into the new window. If I double click on the smaller scale, you will see the 2 windows are there. So this is the advantage of CATIA, like you can create multiple windows, and you can work on the multiple layers, and then you can understand, okay, this is the part, and that need to be assembled, and then you can just save as, and then you can work on the assembly line. So here part 2, I've just tried to give you some idea about how the solid modeling works. So here you just go to the sketch, select the plane, and then if I have to create a circle, what I will do, I'll create the circle. What is the next step? Next step will be the dimension 92. Then what I have to do, exit the workbench. Now the circle is here, single sketch which is closed. Even if there is a single line outside, it will not convert into the solid thing, right? If I click here, double click on it, it will go back to the its original thing, what is the editing thing. So it's like a history, there is no separate option. You just have to double click on the sketch or part. So go back. I am just trying to explain you something here, like this is the line, right? Extra line was created here, and I'm just going back. Now I'm trying to extrude it. What happened? Same problem. So remember, whenever you are trying to create something, everything has to be close, and the profile which is need to be extracted or extruded or going to be function, that portion is only should be there, not nothing else. Like in the fusion we saw, if you create full sketch in the sketch part and you go back to the extrude, you can select any particular thing, like this circle will be different, this line will be different, and all other tools will be different. But not here, because it is like too much optimized and too much standardized for the industrial purpose, so it doesn't allow that much freedom. So again, if you want to go back and edit, you can just double click here. I don't want this line, just delete it from the keyboard, go back. Now this is there. Now I can go to the pad option. There is no extrude option here, there is pad option for the same purpose, right? I can see, even if I just click here, you will see the arrow limit. I can just push pull here, it will show key how the length is going and how the extrusion going. Right? There is a small pad option will be opened, right? And now I can just preview it from here, so you will see, okay, this is the pad. Okay, if I'll say okay, it will create the cylinder, right? And then pad is for extrude and this pocket is for the cut, right? So if I can just click here, go to the sketch, I can create another circle, right? Remember, constrain, give some dimensions, back. Now it is showing, okay, extrude only, right? It is not showing. If I go to the cut, it will just select this, not this, right? And if I want to cut, I will click on cut, select this, it will automatically showing, okay, this much is going to be cut. It will show some limit. You can increase this thing and then select okay, and then you can create the hole. Okay, so this is just for explaining how you can create the solid model here. And first thing first, this is need to be practiced, so just work on this, and we will start the next session in where we will going to see the solid modeling tools and how you can create the complex geometries out of it, some of the basic tools, and then in the third class and the last class we will see some complex tools and how the drawing is created. Okay, so thank you very much, and please work on this assignment. Thank you.